Today, actually, I'm going to be talking about something very important for the people who are students in Canada. List out all the expenses, your food, your shelter, your entertainment expenses, your going out expenses. You list out all the income and also list out expenses like what is incoming and what is outgoing, like cash flow. If suppose you're going to buy some groceries, so buy on your SIM cards or some credit cards where you accumulate points, and that accumulated points can get you free groceries, right? It's a very, very good idea to start saving in a regular pre-authorized plan. Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Prasoon Srivastava Financial Planner. Today, actually, I'm going to be talking about something very important for the people who are students in Canada. Whether you're international students or Canadian citizen or permanent resident, you must pay attention to today's videos. Watch till the end because I'm going to be giving some very actionable steps or tips so that you can have your financials in place, and in future you won't be thinking, you won't be regretting that why didn't I stop or start before. Now, the first thing first, understand how much your income coming over. I know most of the times you guys work part-time and you get some income from your GIC which you put into the bank. Maybe you get some money from your back home which your parents send it to you, and maybe some dividend income coming over. So you have to list what exactly you're getting every month, and then list out all the expenses, your food, your shelter, your entertainment expenses, your going out expenses. You list out all the income and also list out expenses like what is incoming and what is outgoing, like cash flow planning, the budgeting. But if your outgoing is more than incoming, means there is a question mark, so you have to think about it. So do that first step at a time, income and expenses. List out all those things. The second thing is creating your budget. Budget means like how much you're getting money, and then divide all your expenses, means like how much going into shelter, your rent pay, how much going into groceries, food, how much you're getting outside, like when you go for entertainment and everything, and how much you're saving. So you have to divide each and every portion of your expenses in a certain budgets. And also you can use a lot of apps available online which can use those apps to track all those expenses, compartmentalize, use all those heads and keep that money into those heads and don't spend more than that. Okay, and that's the way you can create a budget. And budget is very, very important. Budget is something which you want to have a control on your income and expenses. That's called budget. Means like how much you're making, how much inflow is coming, and then how much you have already divided into those expenses. And savings component is also in there in that budget portion. Now, next step is prioritize your savings. Sometimes it feels so hard for you guys to understand, can you really save? Because of you have limited resources of making money, right? But you know what? I'm going to give you a kind of a story where I had one of my friend's daughter who started working and also studying. I gave her idea that whatever she's making, save 10% of her savings into some sort of investments. And she started doing 7 years before, and now she has accumulated quite a bit of amount. The only 10% rule is there. So I would suggest you start today. Suppose you're making $2,000 a month in gross income. Think of you're making just $1,800. So 10% of $2,000, $200 put into savings. And if you're getting income on a bi-monthly basis, then each paycheck, put that 10% into that savings account. Not just savings into regular savings account, just put into some equity mutual funds based upon a risk tolerance and objective. Because what happens, when emergency comes, you're going to have some money. And I have seen some cases when students has some emergency and they kind of looking for some donations, charity. So basically, I advise my clients to have at least three months to 6 months of emergency fund. So if suppose your expenses are $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month, to try to save at least emergency fund of $10,000. So at least you can have something, and God forbid you have an emergency to come over. Make it a point, 10% of your income towards the savings. So next tip, I'm going to be providing you smart spending tips. So how to spend smart means, like, if suppose you're going to buy some groceries, so buy on your SIM cards or some credit cards where you accumulate points, and that accumulated points can get you free groceries, right? And then also you can buy some discounted goods on certain retail stores here, where on your birthdays you get extra discounts. And you can also buy e-books online. Whenever you want to buy some books for your studies, don't buy new books, buy some used books, right? That's hardly matters. If there's a recent edition is not printed, then go for the same edition book and then buy pre-used books, right? So there also you can save at least 50 to 60% cost of your education. And then also, one more thing is, usually what happens in Canada, cost of food is become quite a high. And when you guys come to Canada as an international student, you spend a lot of buying food from outside. So don't go and more often go outside and eat food. Rather, cook your food your own. Spend money on buying groceries, cheap groceries, free groceries, and cook food at home. I have one of my friend's son came over here. He didn't know how to cook it, and then it was hard for his mom to teach from overseas that, okay, do this, do that. Now he started cooking at home, and he's become good chef now, kind of. I need to call him a chef because he's become such a good cook now. So he was not able to cook before. Now he's cooking by himself and cooking good food at home. So he's saving a heck of money actually every month, not going out to eat. But once in a while you can definitely enjoy your food with your friends outside also. But most of the time, cook food at home, save money there. So there are certain spending tips you can use and use that for future. So next tip I'm going to do is, I know that I told you that make your budget, but track that spending. Making budget is not enough actually. So tracking is also very important, because I know that making a budget is hard in the beginning, and tracking is very important. Whatever the budget you have made, track it diligently, that whatever you're spending based upon the budget what you have made, you're doing all the expenses based upon that budget. So tracking is very, very important. I can share one of the story of one of my friend, is that friend's son is actually, he was here, he started making good money, but suddenly what happens, he kind of not tracking all his budgets, and then he suddenly purchased a car. Though the car was 10 years old, but it cost him $20,000 because he didn't have a bunch of credit. So you have to track your credit score as well. He didn't have much of a credit, so he purchased a car. Now the challenge, he said to me that, I'm going to be using this car to drive Uber and then make extra income. But what happens that there are certain places you can't drive older cars. So the point happened that now he's in a situation he wants to sell his car and nobody is buying his car. He is under $20,000 of debt of car loan, and a loan is almost 9%. So think about all those things. Don't get into a trap of buying car and running the Uber and everything. Just think about it in the perspective of what exactly you can afford at that time. And then of course his situation is now his credit is in a different situation. Now he cannot even pay the insurance cost of the car because he cannot drive Uber actually. So his situation is so worse. Now that's what the story I'm telling you, that don't think of those lines. Establish yourself first, save first, then spend later on. So now, once you started your budgeting, you're tracking your expenses. Now the most important part, once I suggest you 10% of savings, now you need to understand where this 10% saving is going. Is it working hard as like you are working so hard? So you need to understand, is your money working hard for yourself, right? So what you should do, open up a tax-free savings account. That's very, very important thing. You should do that first thing first. Why? Because whatever you growth inside the tax-free savings account, you don't have to pay any taxes on the growth. And what you should do, every month or bi-weekly, you can set up a plan, buy some equity mutual funds and invest in that. So for example, in first week, you invest $100 and you buy $10 stock, you buy 10 units. Next time, when $100, the stock goes up in price, you buy 9 units. Similarly, again, it's a kind of a dollar cost averaging. So it's a very, very good idea to start saving in a regular pre-authorized plan. So what it does is, every certain interval, your money getting out of your account and getting invested into the market. And I can tell you, if you stick to this discipline, you can make easily double-digit returns of your money, which is definitely very, very important for you at this moment when you have some small money savings from here and there. So as I mentioned you that you can open up a tax-free savings account, and I also want to caution you that you don't have to open a regular account in any bank, because in Canada, for new students, what they offer you a no-fee account, so you don't have to pay any fees for your transactions. Otherwise, in Canada, you're gonna pay fees for each transaction. Even Interact fee, you don't have to pay anything. So what it does is that you keep the money in the account. There is no minimum maintenance fees required. There is no minimum amount has to be there in the account, and also this money can be transferred from checking account to your TFSA account without any fees. So there is absolutely no fees. So you have to save a lot of fees, because in the regular Canadians, they have to pay anywhere from $16 to $25 and also have to maintain the minimum balance, right? So for you, it is a good thing to have a free fee savings account or checking account in any Canadian banks actually here. So there's another tip for you is having a side hustle. Side hustle is definitely you can do, like you can if you want to buy something, say for your home, like desk or chair, don't have to go to a new store and just go on marketplace. A lot of things available used, and sometimes new things you can buy from marketplace at a very, very economical price. And side hustle, you can start tutoring online and selling your stuff online, which you don't need actually. But mind it that side hustle should not interfere your education, what you came here for. So that's very important to understand, that you do side hustle and you make some extra money, but don't compromise on your studies. So to wrap things up, basically this video is being recorded because one of my person who watched my video, he actually requested me that I should make this video, and you guys are watching. Then if you want me to create a video on one of your topics, then I'll be more than happy to do that. So in this video, now you understand that what is important: to track your expenses, to budget properly, to save. Whether you save 10%, so it's not that you make $2,000, you save $200. Even if you make $100 in side hustle, keep $10 aside and put it into that account, which is gonna be working better for you, right? So that is something I would like to say you at the end, and appreciate your comments if you're gonna like my previous videos on financial planning. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like, and bell the icon. I'm not very good in saying all those things, but yeah, please, I appreciate your time and today for watching this video. Thank you.